Hey guys, what's going on? It's Dokkan here, and today we're going to be going over how to increase your super attack level on Dragonball Z Dokkan Battle. Now, before we start, I just want to go over a couple different things. One, why do we increase super attack levels? We want to increase the super attack level because of the damage output. Damage output increases the higher your super attack level is. A standard character will have up to super attack 10. Strike event characters have up to super attack level 15 once tokened, and LR characters have super attack levels of up to 20. Now, that's what we have in-game as of so far. Now, with that being said, some characters will have bonuses linked inside of their super attack levels. For instance, if you get to super attack 5, a character could launch a super attack when he is 8 or more. Or when they get to super attack 10, they could have an increased or a buff to their super attack. Those vary unit to unit. So make sure you go and pay attention to that. I'm in the game right now. I'll show you. For instance, when you just click over here on Arale, right? You click on the details button. From super attack level 10, her super attack becomes more powerful. Now, the mechanic of how much her super attack increases varies. You would have to go on to the wiki or the dbz.space website. They should have that available for you, so it will tell you how much it increases. Now, there are different times where you want to increase a super attack. The first thing is this character farmable? If the character is farmable from an event, for instance, this Arale, all of these Arales were grindable from the Arale event. I have this Strength Arale, which was a summon, was a banner pull. I could either use an Elder Kai, which I'll be going over that in a little bit, to increase her super attack level, or I can go to the event and she has an SSR drop. If you have a grindable one, then it's very well worth it to increase the super attack of the character because it's a free super attack level gain. Now, there are also different multipliers to take into consideration here. If I have a grindable character and they have a low multiplier, it might not be worth grinding that out. For instance, if you have a huge damage multiplier, you are not going to get the same amount of attack buff increase as someone who has a supreme, extreme, or immense damage modifier. Now, you have different multipliers. It goes huge damage, then it goes extreme, then it goes supreme, and if you're an OG player or an old school player, you'll know that they used to have a catastrophic multiplier, and the catastrophic multiplier was the same thing as supreme. Then you have immense, which that first came out with the strength Gogeta and the full power Frieza, and now they have colossal and mega colossal. Now, there's also the mass damage, but mass damage is equivalent, at least in terms of the super attack multiplier, of extreme damage. So let's get into that real quick. Now, a huge damage super attack 10 multiplier is going to be 290% of the 12 key multiplier. After that, you have extreme damage, which is 355% of the 12 key multiplier, then 430% for supreme, 505 for immense, and then you have Colossal and Mega Colossal. Colossal being 395% of the 12 key multiplier, and the Mega Colossal 540%. Now, you may be asking, why is Colossal less than both the Supreme and the Immense modifiers? So that's because the 12 key on average is 200% as opposed to the 12 key multiplier on the immense and supreme damage. Most of those are at 155% or lower. You're getting an extra 45% boost minimum on top of that. The Colossal and Mega Colossal at this point in the game are exclusive to LR characters. No one else will have that damage multiplier, and most LRs will also have an increase to the amount of damage output they do if you have them at SA20, which I believe is about 30%. With that being said, that is something you want to take into consideration. How much extra damage are they actually going to do? Now, you're going to mix that with their passive skill and the leaders that you're going to be running them with. There's a whole bunch of different things to take into consideration when trying to increase their super attack level. I typically base it off of what their damage multiplier is, what their 12 key multiplier is, and how often am I going to actually run them on my team. You know, if I'm never going to run them, then there's no real reason for me to increase their super attack unless it's grindable or farmable. But even then, if it's farmable, unless I'm farming the drop card, because there are some events that are exclusive to you only being allowed to use cards that are farmed in-game, then there's no real reason for me to increase that super attack level. That's up to you. That's up to your own discretion. I try to make sure anyone who has a Supreme or higher gets super attack raised if they have a droppable character. Now let's go ahead and take a look over here. I have my Arale, my Strength Arale, right? Now, if I want to increase her super attack, I would need to have a character of the same exact type. So I would need to have who's the strongest Arale Noramaki in order to raise her super attack. But because this card, the Arale Norimaki, has the same name as this card, Arale Norimaki, but they're different cards, there is a percentage chance that I can increase it. Now I'm grabbing this from the wiki page. If they're different characters, you have different percentages that they can be increased by. For instance, if I want to increase this super attack of this Arale Norimaki, you'll see that she has 100% of her SSR forms, which is the one on the top of the first character you see here, and even her ultra rare, which is the second row first character you see, that's 100% because they're the same exact character. Take a look over here and you'll see the strength one also has 100%, but that's because it's a transcendent ultra rare. Now let's go ahead, or she has been awakened to an ultra rare. Now if we go over here and we go to take a look who I could train her into, or who I could train into her, I have all the ones that I have Dokkan Awakened to Ultra Rare at 100%, but the two that I have up top are at 50%. That means that she only has a 50% chance because she has the same name, so I can increase the unit, but because she doesn't have the same exact title, she only has a percentage to actually increase the super attack. Now those get lower and lower as you go down in terms of rarity. So if I'm reading this right, if you have a base SSR and you try to train an SSR of a different name, you're going to only get a 50% chance of increasing that. If you're trying to increase it from an SR, you will only have a 30% chance. From there, you'll then have a 5% chance for a rare and a 1% chance for a normal. LRs, you only have a 5% chance on the Transcendent Ultra Rare and the Ultra Rares. Now, if you want to increase the character super attack level, we also have these things called Elder Kais. Now, Elder Kais were amazing when they first came out in the game. We were all super stoked about it. They literally increase the super attack level of any character. They have no actual team value worth. Their team cost level 99, and you could feed them into your character for a 100% chance of raising the super attack level. That was for legendary rares, transcendent ultra rares, SSRs, and so forth. Now, my recommendation for their use is only going to be towards transcendent ultra rares with immense damage multipliers and super attacks that are not farmable. That's just my recommendation. What I typically do is we'll train them into the leaders, any of the leaders that I have, because I'm going to be using them almost all the time. Now on the global side, it's all the 70% leaders, so Super Vegito and Super Saiyan 3 Go tanks, not Buhan, because Buhan has a grindable super attack. You would use it on Broly. Yeah, I used it on my Broly. I'm not upset with that decision I made, but some people are against using it on Broly just because he only has a Supreme modifier instead of Immense and Omega Shenron. But again, that's up to you. It's up to your discretion. I can't tell you what you can and can't use them on. I would just recommend, if you're going to use your Elder Kais, use it on a character that has a very good multiplier, such as an immense multiplier, and one that doesn't have a farmable super attack. If you're wondering if your character has a farmable super attack, go ahead and check out the wiki. They usually do a good job about linking the characters that you could farm in to raise up the super attack level. Now, back to what I was saying a little bit earlier, you can increase the super attack level of a character if it's the same exact character card. Now, the only thing with that is we have the potential system. Now, I won't be going over the potential system in this video because that's its own beast in itself. I always recommend, like with using Elder Kais, best practice is to focus your orbs on what the same cards you would focus your Elder Kais on. So with that being said, if the character is farmable, increase the super attack level and use the dupe system on them. If it's not farmable, you have to really figure out if you're going to be using that character a lot. If you are, then you would want to start using the dupe system. My typical preference is what I'll do if I only have two of the same cards that are not farmable. My best practice, or what I do, is if I use it a lot, I'll feed the top left path in the dupe system, and I will train them up. If I know I'm going to be feeding Elder Kais in, I'll unlock the bottom right path, and then I'll feed my Elder Kais in. Let's go ahead. I'm going to give you a little demonstration here right now. So now I have my Strength Arale Norimaki, and she's only at super attack level 1. So let's go ahead and take a look. 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, and 100%. So now I have her all the way at 100%, and now look on the top right-hand corner of the screen. She has super attack level 1 of 10 plus 5. So we're going to go ahead and hit begin, because she is grindable. And there we go. Now, specifically for the video that I'm showing you, I'm increasing her super attack level because when you Dokkan Awaken her, she becomes, she's an AoE, so she becomes super useful in the World Tournament, and if I decide to run just a straight strength team, I'm going to have both her and Broly kicking butt. Now, let me just show you what happens here when you try to increase it again with 2 characters at 50%. You only have that guaranteed +2 because those other 2 are at 50%. So what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go use the rest of the awakenings that I have for here. Now again, when you're doing these awakenings for an SSR2 and Ultra Rare to guarantee that 100% increase, make sure it's worth it because you will be using Elder Kai or Supreme Kai medals, and those are very valuable. Luckily for me, I had over 20 of them, so I started using them for her awakenings on top of a couple other cards. I also had a lot of Bibbities, or Bobbities, I'm sorry. So I'm down to 10 now. And again, as you all know, probably are aware, those medals, those Supreme Kai and Elder Kai medals, are super valuable because they are the only ones that will allow you to awaken your ultra rare characters or your SSRs. Let's go ahead and finish training her up. Now we went from only having a 2 guaranteed to super attack 10. But now, as you can see, I can no longer super attack level 10. I can no longer train her. Now that is because she's max level at max super attack. There's nothing I can actually do to her. But yep, that's it, guys. That is the overview of how and why and when to increase your super attack level. If I left anything out, leave it in the comments below. I will add that onto the video, or at least put a pinned post explaining what I missed. I'm pretty sure I covered everything, and I know it's a little bit of a longer video, but I want to make sure I went in depth because I don't believe there's a lot of training videos on how to increase super attacks on YouTube. Thank you. Stay tuned. There's going to be more to come. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you like what you saw here. At some point, I'm going to have this part of some playlist. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.